Okay, welcome everyone. Normally, I would do these Facebook chats live. However, this week on Friday, I will not be in the office. Um, Many of you may have graduates from OV, and so I am in that boat too. So my daughter is graduating on Saturday, so I've taken Friday off to get ready. So I am recording this late Wednesday afternoon to give you a little bit of information that I still wanted you to have this week. So if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat or the comments under the post. I'm going to post this as a YouTube link on Facebook. So you're welcome to comment either place, and I'll check there to answer your questions. You are always able to call into the office, 829-5020, to help with any problems you're having or get your questions answered, or to email us. And my email is jlapril@purdue.edu. Liz is eblake@purdue.edu, and Emily's emacy@purdue.edu. So you can send those inquiries that way, call, or come in. Okay, we'd be happy to see your faces in the office. That'd be awesome. So primarily what I wanted to do this week is talk about FairEntry, because we've made it through. Hooray, we made it through the animal ID deadline, which was the past weekend. And we've been kind of ironing out some bumps this week. If there were some people that didn't quite get through that process, but there were very few. So I'm really proud of all of you, because we had very few stragglers. And I think we've gotten all of those cleaned up. So I think all of our animals intending to show at the fair this year are indeed entered in 4-H Online. So good job. Thank you so much for complying with the deadline. That helps us on this end. It makes it a lot easier to get things done and to be able to move forward. So in the meantime, Emily and Liz have been working on making sure FairEntry is ready to go. So I believe it is. If as you're using FairEntry, you come up on any snags, let us know and we'll take a look at that. So today I'm going to just kind of do a demo of how you might do some entries in FairEntry to give you an idea about that. So I'm going to use my kids as guinea pigs. So you might see some things that they may or may not be taking to fair this year. I'm going to probably have to clean up their account after I'm done using it as a demonstration, but it'll give you a good idea from the member's standpoint on what the experience is going to look like. Okay, so first off, make sure everything that you are intending to bring to the fair, make sure you've enrolled in those projects, those parent projects in 4-H Online. Because when you get into FairEntry, if you haven't enrolled in those in 4-H Online, it's not going to let you add an exhibit for that. Okay, so you have to be enrolled in it in 4-H Online first, and then you're going to register your exhibit in FairEntry. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is share my screen. Okay, so screen share. I want to share this screen here. Here we go. Okay, so you should be seeing the FairEntry screen now. And this is the general FairEntry.com. Okay, so I think on Facebook and in the newsletter that went out this week, we shared the link that'll go directly to the Owen County Fair gateway. And that's fine. We'll get to that here in just a second. But if in case those people who start out just at FairEntry.com, I'm going to start from ground zero and we're going to go from there. So here we are on the homepage. So you're going to go up here at the top where it says find your fair. You're going to click this. And over here on the left is a quick filter to filter through so you don't have to go through every fair in every state. So we're going to go down here. They're sorted by state, filter by state, drop down menu, pick Indiana and search. Okay. And then you'll see come up on the right all of the fairs in Indiana. And we're going to scroll down and it is titled 2021 Owen County Fair right here. Okay, so you'll click on that. And this is the screen that those of you using the link from the previous Facebook post and that's in the newsletter, this is where you're probably going to land if you use that link. So it just cuts off a couple of the early steps. So it'll get you here quicker. Okay, this is our title page. Now it's got a little bit of information over here. Eventually you'll be able to view the public results here. That's once we have everything in after fair, you'll be able to come here and see the results. There is a link here that says if you need fair entry instructions, click here. This link is not working. We are not sure why. We tried to get that fixed today and we'll continue to try to get that fixed. It's basically written instructions on how to use FairEntry. Okay, so right now it's not working, but we're hoping to get the link to actually link to the document it's supposed to show you. So you'll want to come over here and you're going to want to sign in with 4-H Online. So you're just going to click this green button. Okay, and you can see it pops up with your login credentials for 4-H Online, and this is our family login. So I'm going in from the family's point of view, as opposed to my login as an administrator, right? So my screen is going to look just a tad different than yours because I've already started, right? I've already entered a couple of things, at least 1 or 2 for each of my kids. So right here you can see it's asking me to continue to work on this. So that I've already started. So you'll have a very similar screen to begin, but that's why it looks just a tad different. You should be able to easily determine what you're supposed to do at that point. So you'll just pick one of your one of the children in your family to get started. So over here, so in my current open invoice, my registration is currently open. And I'm going to continue to work on this. So I'm going to go here. And up at the top, you can see this kind of shows you where you are. We're on the exhibitor screen. It's showing the 2 exhibitors in my family. And I've already begun work on each of those. And then it'll go to entries and then payment. It makes it sound like you're going to have to pay something, but you won't because it'll always say 0. Okay, there's no fee to register at our fair. You just have to go through that process. Okay, so I'm going to start and show you by showing you with Lucas. Okay, so we're going to register him as an exhibitor. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Do I want to register an individual? Yes. Okay. Oh, whoops. That is not correct. Go back here. Okay, it usually would go, I think that it thinks I'm adding somebody new. So I'm just going to edit. I think it's because I had started his already, but usually it'll go there. You'll say yes, an individual, and it'll come up with the selection from your family that you have. Okay, so you can see I've already started. And it wants me to review the exhibitor registration. So here's all of Lucas's information. So I'm going to continue to entries. Okay, so you can see I have both. Lynn comes up with both. I've got Lucas here and Marjorie here. So we've got her in photography and I've got her goat in, one of her goats. So we can actually do either one. I'm going to go ahead and go with Lucas. We're going to add an entry for Lucas. And when you click add an entry, you're going to come up with choose a department and choose division. Okay. This screen might be a little confusing if you've not used 4-H Online before, because it's going to be like, wow, that's not very many to choose from. It's because some of them are grouped all together, right? So all of your livestock projects will be listed here. So you've got an animal project. So you've got beef, cat, dairy, cattle, dog, goat, horse and pony, poultry, rabbit, sheep, and swine. Okay, so you can select any of those. Then you also have something called Exhibit Hall County Only. So these are going to be exhibit hall projects that are county level only. These are projects that don't necessarily go to state fair. Okay, and then, which always has perplexed me, I'm not really sure why this happens, but state garden. So garden is kind of its own entity here. So any garden projects will go here, and then any other state projects. So all the other projects that are state fair eligible, right? Mini 4-H is also here. So you can go to Mini 4-H there to see some of the things specific to minis. So I'm going to show you an example of some of these. I'm going to show you first. We're going to try to get into mini. My kids are not minis, obviously. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you have not registered for the project in 4-H Online, right? So, well, first off, it is going to give me a list. So these are the mini projects here. Arts and crafts, bicycle, collection and hobbies, create your own, flower and garden foods, little critters, mini nature, and animal posters. So a lot of you I've had a conversation with, we have kind of cut back on mini projects this year so that it's less intimidating to those little guys, right? Having 40 some projects to choose from is a little overwhelming. So we've pared that down. However, we want you to still be flexible in what the young members are choosing to do. So you have some flexibility in that. Arts and crafts is going to encompass lots of different things, anything that you consider an arts and crafts. So before we had a specific project called Christmas ornament, for instance, that would be an arts and craft, right? Or bookmark. We had that as a specific project. That could be an art and craft. Okay, so you can bring, if you're a mini, you can make as many of those as you want. So you can do lots of different ones. Okay, so if I select this and then I say choose this, this is where it's going to show you he's not signed up as a mini 4-H'er, so it's not allowing him to choose. See how over here it says not available, not available, not available. That's because Lucas did not sign up for Mini 4-H, right? Because he's not a Mini 4-H'er. So if you happen to try to enter a project in something that you've not enrolled in 4-H Online, you're going to get a very similar screen to this, where it's going to list these different things. It's going to have a lot of things in red ink, and it's going to say not available. Okay, so if you believe that, hey, no, I really want to take that, and you're not sure what you did or didn't sign up for, go back and look in your 4-H Online, see what projects you've enrolled in. And if you still have a question, just give us a holler, right? And we can help you figure out which parent project you need to sign up for these to show up for you. Okay, in this case, we would have had to have signed up as a mini 4-H in 4-H Online. Okay. So we're going to back out of this. We're going to go back to entries. Okay. And again, add an entry. And I don't have anything in yet for Lucas, so I'm going to go ahead and start livestock. So hang on just a second. Okay. So Lucas shows goats. So we're going to come down here to goat, and we're going to select goat. And then we have the choice. We have goat showmanship, dairy goat, boar goat, or pygmy goat. Okay, so if you want to do showmanship, you're going to need to register for that. So let's go ahead and register for goat showmanship. We're going to choose goat showmanship. And here we're going to select the class. Okay, so he's a senior because he's in grade 9 through 12 and he is not advanced to advanced showmanship. So we're going to click here. Okay. So you can see goat, goat showmanship, senior showmanship grades 9 through 12. So the department division class here. That's what we want. We're going to continue. All right. When you get to this next screen, it's going to ask you to choose your club or chapter. And it's just a hoop you have to jump through here. So we're choosing his club and we're saying continue. All right. So at this point, if we were finished, right, if I had entered all of the exhibits that Lucas was going to be bringing to FAIR, I would be done and I would click continue to payment. I am not done, however. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to say add another entry. Okay, it'll pop back up with the box that I just did. But I may want something different than goat. So I'm going to change, right? And it'll pop that back up for me. Okay. Another example I'm going to show you. So in Exhibit Hall County only, again, these are county only projects, projects that do not advance to state fair. We're going to select this one. And Lucas is in the ATV project. So we're going to select ATV. Okay. And we're going to choose ATV. And we're going to come down here and we've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And Lucas is in advanced. He's grades 9 through 12. So we're going to select ATV advanced. And again, you can see the department is Exhibit Hall County only. So the county only projects, we picked ATV and we picked advanced. And we're going to continue that. And again, we're back to this screen where we have to choose our club. We're going to continue. All right, so a lot of these are going to, when you get to this screen, these are going to have places for you to upload pictures, basically. If you remember last year in the virtual fair, you had to upload pictures. It is optional this year, so you don't have to do anything here, and we're not going to, right? We're just going to continue through that. And again, here's where we end up. If we are finished, we're going to click continue to pay, payment. Excuse me. But we are not finished. So we're going to say add another entry. Okay. And again, we're back where we started here in Exhibit Hall County only. But that's not what we want this time. Okay. So this time we want State Garden, for instance. So we're going to select State Garden. We are going to select single vegetable. Okay. And we are going to choose, because he's not registered for garden in 4-H Online, right? So I'm going to have to go back to 4-H Online and make sure he's enrolled in the garden project. And then this will allow me to enter him in garden. Okay. Again, back the bar on top will take you right back to entries. Okay. So right now you can see what we've done already in demonstration here. Under Lucas now, he has 2 entries listed. Okay. He's got ATV and he's got goat showmanship there. And that's what we just did here as an example. Okay, I want to show you a state project as well. I'm going to go down here to Marjorie. I'm going to add an entry to Marjorie. And we're going to say state projects. And we're going to say photography. I don't remember what I already put her in. So we're going to then choose photography. All right, so I've already chosen the color salon print. Excuse me. So we're going to choose a black and white salon print here. And she's an advanced level, grade 9 through 12. Level 3, it's not advanced, it's level 3 black and white salon print. Continue. Again, choose her club. Continue. Again, here's where you can upload a picture if you are choosing to exhibit virtually. That is an option. So if we do have any members that are, for whatever reason, not comfortable coming in person or exhibiting in person, we do have the virtual option available, but it is not required for the in-person. So we're going to continue. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. I'm not going to click continue to payment because I don't want to finish this out right now, because once you do that, continue to payment, it will kick over to the administrative side and our administrators. So that would be Liz or Emily or myself. And I'm not doing any of it, right? I'm letting Liz and Emily handle this, primarily Emily. This is one of her responsibilities. So she will accept all of those. And once she's done that, then you can go back in and change. But until she does that, I can't manipulate this anymore. I can't add anything. I can't take anything off once I click continue to payment and submit. Okay, so I'm not going to continue any further than this, but it'll be pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions after this point, you can let us know. Okay, I think I have shown you what I wanted to make sure you saw in FairEntry. I'm going to look through my notes very quickly just to make sure. So I showed you what it looked like if you have not registered for something in 4-H Online. Oh, I do want to show you something else. Okay, so we're going to go here to click add another entry. We're going to change this to county only. We can do it here. All right, arts and crafts is a big one, and we've consolidated arts and crafts under the arts and crafts umbrella, right? So this is county only arts and crafts. I'm going to show you what's here. So county only arts and crafts county. I'm going to choose that. So you can see for county only arts and crafts, we've got ceramics and construction craft, gift wrapping, gingerbread, scrapbook. So any of you that are in any of these projects, that's where you're going to find those. County only arts and crafts. Okay, those are under the arts and crafts umbrella. So you'll choose there. Okay, I'm not going to pick any of these because Marjorie's not in any of these projects. We're going to go back to entries. We're going to go here and we're going to go to state projects. And we're going to go to arts and crafts projects at the state level. Okay, and you can see what arts and crafts projects are in here at the state level. So you've got fine arts, you've got needlecraft, model craft, and any other craft. Okay, so fine art, we're going to go here and we're going to say, oh, yeah, okay, there's advanced. It's at the top. I thought it was at the bottom. So advanced grade 9 through 12. We're going to pick that. And it says select a subclass to continue. Let's see. All right. I'm going to have to look at that because I don't know if there needs to be a subclass there or not. So she's got arts and crafts, fine art, advanced. Okay, and again, click her club, continue. We're not putting in any pictures, so we're going to continue. And I'm not going to click continue to payment. Okay, I know what else I was going to show you. I'm going to show you animal entry, I believe. Don't think I showed you that yet. So we're going to go up here and add another entry. Okay, we're going to change. And we're going to go to goat. Now I've already put in her weather. So I'm going to put in her doe. Okay. So we have Bordeaux's or Boer goats. So we're going to select Boer goat. We're going to choose. Okay. And Marjorie's Bordeaux is a percentage doe. So we're going to choose percentage doe. and she's a senior. Senior percentage doe, oh goodness. I believe she's 36 months and older. I'm going to select that and hope I'm correct. I'll go back and change it if not. Okay. And continue. All right, again, club, continue. Okay, so here's where you're going to attach the animals that you just finished doing, right? In 4-H Online, you're going to attach it to your exhibit entry in FairEntry. So it says there's no animal in this slot. So we're going to add an animal. And because it's in an animal that's in 4-H Online already, we're going to choose an existing animal record. All right. So here are the 2 animal records attached to Marjorie's name. I've already done her weather. So her weather is this one up here. It's got this tag. Her doe is this one with the tattoo information here. So this is her doe. And we're going to select that animal. All right. It'll allow you to review and make sure this is the animal you wanted to put here. Okay, so you can see here, and this is Disney. The goat's name is Disney, right? And I want to double check. So yes, so she is 36 months or older because she was born in January of 18. Okay, so we'll continue. We're not putting pictures in because we're not doing it virtually. Okay, so we got her entered. I want to go back to exhibitors now and take a look here. Entries. Here we go. Entries is what I wanted to look at. So you can see now we've added several things that we've been talking about. So right now, Marjorie has her percentage doe. We just did that one, right? So here's where that one shows up. And you can see that's the animal right there. I can click on that and see the animal information. Okay, that's a hot link. So I can see very easily which animal is attached to this exhibit. So if you are unsure, like, whoa, did I get the right animal with the right entry? You can check that with that hot link and take a look. Okay, you can also see here's where we added her into fine art. And here's a black and white salon print for photography that we did. Here's a color salon print for photography that we did. And here is her weather down here. Again, if you click the hot link, it brings up the animal information so you can see and double check that that's the right animal. Okay, same up here. Here's we added, excuse me, Lucas into ATV and in goat showmanship. Okay, let me see. I think those were the biggest things I wanted to make sure I showed you about FairEntry. So hopefully that covers most of what you're going to need to know. I am sure there are other things that will come up depending on what particular projects your young people are in, or you, if you, the 4-H'er is watching this, that you're in. So if you come across anything that is just a little wonky for you and you're just not sure, please let us know. Please get a hold of us as soon as possible, because the longer you wait, that makes it more difficult here. All right. So we want to make sure that the majority of entries are made by June 7th. Okay. I am not calling it a deadline right now, simply because we've got a couple of other things to figure out about exactly when we're going to run tags. However, our target date is June 7th, which is a Monday. We will definitely be needing to run tags not long after that. So expect here in a week or so for me to tell you this is the deadline, right? So it's going to be somewhere around June 7th, not any earlier. Possibly June 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that. For right now, June 7th is that target date. So please, please, please be working on getting your exhibits entered into FairEntry. So again, the first thing you've got to make sure is that you are enrolled in all the projects you want to be enrolled in 4-H Online. And then get your exhibits entered in FairEntry. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So for livestock people, you should have everything in 4-H Online that you need, because your animal ID entry date had a deadline that is now passed, right? So all of that, but it's possible that you might want to pick up some other projects here and there. Maybe you've decided you want to do a fine art drawing and you didn't put that in yet. So make sure you go in and add arts and crafts as your project. Okay. And then when you get to FairEntry, you'll pick fine art out of those state arts and crafts projects. Okay. So for all intents and purposes, June the 7th is the date you need to be striving for to get your FairEntry exhibits in. Okay, I am going to stop sharing that page. So again, if you have any FairEntry questions, please, please, please let us know, and let us know as soon as possible so we can get you helped out. Okay, so the next thing I really quickly wanted to touch on, for those in the sewing projects, right? So sewing wearable and non-wearable consumer clothing, home environment, and home environment includes table presentation now. It includes Decorate My Life and what was typically called just home environment all by itself, right? And then all communication events. So we're talking about demonstrations, action demonstrations, speeches, public speaking, creative writing, all of those things. You all should have gotten a letter recently. My letter's dated May 13th. I'm going to share my screen again so you can see what I have up here. Okay, share. Okay, so you should have gotten this in an email to your 4-H Online registered email. And I think I put a I put a blurb about this on social media, but I didn't put this entire letter to you all up here. So if you are in any of these projects, you're involved in the Creative Expo event. So that event is going to take place on June 25th. Okay, it's important that you are aware of this, because that's not that much earlier than entering the other projects, because the bulk of the rest of the projects will enter that following Monday. So this is a Friday. June 25th is a Friday. June 28th, we're going to start entering the bulk of the exhibit hall projects. So it's a tad bit earlier, but this gives you a timeline for what you need to know, because we're doing an event. We're trying to highlight, we're trying to spotlight some of these projects that have not received as much love as they should, right? So we want to make sure that the public knows, hey, we do these things and we're excited and we are proud of what we're doing here. So here's your timeline. So those of you in creative writing, right, you have the earliest timeline. So first of all, there's a meeting on Zoom on June the 7th, and that's to answer any questions that you all have. And it's just a drop-in meeting, right? You don't have to be there right at 1, okay? You can come anytime between 1 and 2, and I'm happy to answer your questions, okay? So if you are like, wait a minute, I don't understand what's happening with this, I need to talk this through, I'll be on Zoom from 1 to 2 on June the 7th to answer any questions you have. Okay, and you should have gotten that link in the email that came with this letter. So I'm going to put that out again, probably early next week. I may even have Emily do it while I'm gone the next couple days, just to make sure you all have it. And then Creative Writing Youth, your entries are due Friday, June 18th, and those need to be in FairEntry. I put 4-H Online in here. Oops, I was supposed to put, that should have been FairEntry. I am so sorry. That should read FairEntry. I'll try to make that correction very soon. But those should be uploaded. So just like we did last year with exhibits and just like we did last year with the creative writing exhibits, we uploaded those into 4-H, not 4-H Online, into FairEntry so the judge could see those ahead of time, read them ahead of time, have time to do the kind of job that they want to do in judging your creative writing. So they'll have a week that they have to look at that and judge your creative writing exhibit. And then the next week, the next Friday, June 25th, will be the event, right? The event where we'll have all of those different projects I talked about. We'll enter that day. And then we'll be having the fashion reviews for the sewing exhibits. We'll have the table presentations being presented. We'll have the speeches being given. We'll have the demonstrations being given. All of that's going to be happening in sort of an expo atmosphere in the exhibit hall Friday, June 25th. Okay, so there's your timeline. You can see when you enter. So you enter sewing, consumer clothing, home environment here at 3 o'clock. Communication events can come and set up their booths and practice at 4. Same for fashion review and table presentation. And then the expo will be open to the public at 5. Okay, so I want you, if you're in these events, to share that with your family and friends and have them come see you, have them come interact with you and the others that are going to be there at the event, because I think it's going to be a really fun experience. And I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see how it works out. Okay, again, we're going to stop sharing real quick. Earlier, was it just this week? It may have been this week or late. I think it was just this week. We sent out a letter about junior superintendents. So I believe we sent it to everyone 7th grade and over who might possibly be interested in being a junior superintendent. Take a look at that if you'd like, if you're interested in helping out the superintendents. What we've tried to do this year is more clearly define what that means, right? What kind of duties would be expected of you, and to really emphasize the need to communicate with the supervisor, the supervising superintendent of those barns. The idea that we have is that we want junior superintendents to not necessarily be showing in that barn where they're a junior superintendent for a couple of reasons. It's about the leadership, right? It's about learning and working with your supervisor and learning and working with the others in the barn. And if you are showing in that barn, you're not going to be able to help during the show, right? You're going to be worried about getting your animals ready for show. So you're not going to be as available to your superintendent during the show to help. So what we would like to do is find a different barn, and I think that could be kind of fun, right? So now what we found out since is we might, we're not sure. We're going to talk with the superintendents and see where they fall, because they had told me that in an earlier meeting that this could possibly work, but we're kind of talking about some different things about how that's going to work. So we have a deadline of the 26th for you to have those applications back to us, and then I'm going to meet and Emma's going to meet. So our new summer assistant is Emma Wilson. She's fabulous, and she's kind of taken over this project, the junior superintendent project. So she's going to be working with the junior superintendents and help get them matched with the superintendent. We're going to talk and get the input from those superintendents about the types of things they're looking for, right? And all of them are going to want someone who is hardworking and dedicated and gonna follow through on what they're asked to do. So we're going to be working with that and hopefully have selections made pretty quickly after that superintendent meeting that we're having next week. Okay, So get those in if you're interested, and please, please, please know we don't have as many spots as we might have applications. Okay, so that's don't worry if we don't find a spot this year. There might be a spot in a future year. Okay. So the one last thing I want to talk a little bit about is I'm pretty excited. So one thing we're working on, and Emma's working on this too, is the education station that we're going to have available in the exhibit hall through Fair Week, and it'll be something each evening. So the Monday through Friday. So it'll be 5 nights, Monday through Friday, and we'll have some things going on that youth can just stop in and learn a little bit about and do a make and take activity. So she's having, it might be STEM related, it might be ag related, it could be different kinds of things to do a little bit of an activity, a learning activity, and walk away with something cool, right? So I know one of the lessons she's got planned for you is has to do with pollinators and ants, because who knew ants were considered pollinators? They are. Yay. So be looking for that. I just wanted to put that out there as something fun and new that's going to be in the exhibit hall. Other than that, I am to the end of what I wanted to talk about today. And I apologize, I couldn't be here live this week, but I had lots going on Thursday and Friday. So please, 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 if you have questions, make sure you call, email, message, whatever, so that we can get your question answered. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your attention. Thanks for watching. And again, give us some feedback, give us some questions, and we will reach back out to you and answer those for you. Okay, thanks. You all have a good weekend.